Hey, it's 10 a.m. and this is Utah's best sports radio.
Say my name.
You're locked on to Scotty G and the coach, Tim LaComb, presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Folks, gather around the radio. This is what I want you to do. Whether you're in the office or wherever the case might be, I want you to listen to us in your car as you're driving south to Nephi, Utah. It is a beautiful drive. It's a beautiful day outside. I didn't experience any traffic whatsoever. It was a straight shot, no big deal. You come down here to Nephi and get yourself some Bar W beef. We got the Bar W Grill off of exit 222. The same building as the Bar W Steakhouse. You just walk right in. You see the beautiful silo right in the middle of the building, and you know you're going to have some of the best food on the planet, and I cannot wait for the next 4 hours. How are you, my friend?
I am good, Scotty. I'm good. I took it easy last night, did a little reading and hanging out, watched some All-Star game, watched some summer league here as much as I could stomach. It's getting
rough.
It's getting anemic, man. Now we're to the point where we're load managing in summer league. So.
I know, right?
But anyhow, we did get what we needed to get out of summer league from a Jazz perspective. So we don't need to belabor that point. But the All-Star game was disappointingly boring as well. I was hoping for some fireworks, and basically, we got a bunch of we got a donut. We're gonna have Spud Nuts here in a minute. We had a donut in the All-Star game. The NL could not muster a run.
Yeah, that was tough. Come on, look. I don't need a baseball game to be like a 12-9 game. I can enjoy baseball in a playoff game, 7 games. 1-0, 2-1, those kind of games. But in an all-star game, come on, let's let it rip a little bit. Let's have some fun.
There were 15, count them, 15 strikeouts by the NL. So, you love to watch a pitcher's duel in the playoffs. There's nothing better hanging on the edge of your seat. Is that umpire going to give the edge? Now it's not that big a deal. They just do the replay.
Yeah.
And I do like that replay, actually, because it's fast. And baseball umpires have need to be put in their place for a while. There was no checks and balances. Some rogue guy could get back there like Naked Gun and just start making stuff up. So I do like that improvement.
That's a nice poll, by the way.
And how he's doing the move.
Oh, so good.
God rest his soul.
For all you kids out there that haven't seen, just watch the original. You don't need to watch any of the others. Although I've not watched the one with Liam Neeson. The one that just came out.
I haven't either. I did not watch the remake.
I actually heard it was quite good.
Was it?
Yeah.
I heard that as well, Scotty. I heard it was good.
I loved all that slapstick, like Airplane.
Oh, yeah.
But I did make the mistake when my son was young of, hey, you guys you ever seen Airplane? Ha, ha, ha. They're 12, And I forget, from my youth that maybe I was perhaps out of line in some of the stuff. But there's a couple scenes in there. It's like, what have I done?
It gets a little blue.
I had to send letters to all the neighbor parents. Like, I forgot.
Oh, wow. You had the neighbor kids over.
No, yeah, it was a little rough.
Yeah. I remember showing my oldest, they were like 8, and we watched Goonies. And I'm like, oh, it's Goonies. And I'm like, ooh, this is a little bit more blue than I remember it being. It's like, wow, the 80s, we got a little loose.
That's another rabbit hole I went down, Corey Feldman.
Oh, I know you did.
If you ever want to just trip out, go down that rabbit hole.
Corey Feldman.
Watch him entertain.
Go watch Corey Feldman in concert. And, you feel a little bit better about your accomplishments in life.
He's surrounded by yes people, apparently, because the show is a no-go.
It's almost so bad that you have to go now.
He has a little angle, because he had Michael Jackson, ties, so he kind of dresses like him and tries to dance like him, and I'll save you the time. It doesn't look like him.
No. Last night, All-Star game, kind of a dud, 4-0 American League. Only 3 hits and 15 strikeouts.
15 Ks, my guy.
Yeesh.
I mean, you can go to the local
Beer
Little
league.
League game
Yeah.
and watch 15 strikeouts if you want. But the All-Star game, I'm with you, man. Maybe, I don't know what you do. It's hard. Maybe they do a pitching machine.
Maybe.
Save all the pitchers' arms.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, I think we're getting to a point now where, we complain when there's too much scoring, and then maybe we complain when there's not enough
yeah,
scoring.
that's true.
And
Pick a side.
But I'm saying I'm as guilty as the next guy. I think All-Star games have just kind of ran their course. Whether it's the NBA, the NFL's already pulled the white flag and said, screw it. We'll do a skills challenge and call it good.
Yeah, wouldn't you say that they did this to themselves? Like at one point they were good. It's they messed with them too much.
Well, they became less and less like the players have to. It's how the players approach them, right? And yeah, when we were kids, guys it was more about it was less about the big dough. Those guys weren't making the type of money in relation to what these guys are making today.
Yeah. Now we got to protect ourselves. You don't want to put yourself in a bad situation. You don't want to look silly. I mean, some of these guys that start the first inning are already on a private jet heading home by the time the 6th, 7th inning rolls around.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They go do their thing, play their innings, and get out.
Yeah.
Take a shower. It's good to be with you guys.
There's no camaraderie whatsoever. None of that.
Altuve out.
See ya. I'm gone.
Where did he go? Oh, he's right there. He's just standing below the door. He's a little feller.
He kind of blends in a little bit. All right, so you mentioned first person that comes by here, Bar W Beef, we will buy their lunch.
Yeah, I think we should.
Yep.
I think it'd be the right thing to do, and you and I are about that.
I got the P card ready to go because I also will be making some significant purchases for the station barbecue coming up on Saturday.
This is where it doesn't hurt to have this relationship, right?
Oh, I know, right?
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. And we talk about it. I have coined this place the Disneyland of burger joints. So, I mean, if you want to come, just check out how cool this thing is put together. They have a silo on the inside that they've worked into the architecture, a big entryway. And then, I had a buddy that told me, I was driving on the way down, he said they stopped and had steak. He was on his way to St. George at the steakhouse. And he said it's as good as any steak he's had in the state, So, obviously doing a lot of things right. They're great people. So come see us.
Off exit 222 in Nephi. Bart's going to hang out with us, some of the other crew down here at Bar W Beef. And I might add, you come by and hang out. We'll get you, you'll have some of the best beef on the planet. But if you can't make it down, I understand. I'm not happy, but I get it. But what I do want you to do is go to barwbeef.com. You can have the same steak that they're going to serve here, the same ground beef that they put on their burger. It'll be shipped to your house. Any order over $150 or more gets shipped right to your house for free. You won't pay a dime for shipping costs. All right, busy day right here on The Zone. Lloyd, as always, back in studio. We tried to get Lloyd to come down with us today, and Lloyd's like, no, I'm not going to mess with you.
Well, I felt like you need Oz back here a little bit, so
That's true.
And I don't like to mess with you guys on site. I feel like I take away from it. In fact, I'll shoo listeners away, and I don't want to do that. That's not the purpose of it.
You are a little awkward.
Exactly.
Socially.
Yeah, yep, definitely.
I mean, we all have our strengths.
I strive to be you, Timmy.
Lloyd is nothing but generous and kind and gracious.
And you know what? And it'll knock you off your feet in
Knock
a social
it off,
setting.
Scotty. I don't need that from you.
Truth of the matter, he will knock you off your feet in a social setting.
Bring you in a big brace of a bear hug and just say, thanks for listening.
He could walk in late to a meeting due to traffic, full of a bunch of people that have been waiting.
Yeah.
Sit down, tell a story, and get them to cry.
That is a special talent right there.
That is a special talent that Lloyd possesses.
Because, it doesn't matter if Lloyd's in a big meeting or if he's just hanging out with the little people.
Like us.
He'll always wipe the floors. He's ready to get a towel.
Go.
I try to.
Yeah.
Because the tears, they're flowing.
Oh, man.
Got to wipe the tears off the floor.
Let's get to it, folks. It is your starting lineup, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
It's time to kick off the show with the biggest headlines of the day. This is your starting lineup on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Is it wrong that I'm already looking ahead, that I'm already excited? I am fired up because I got the email earlier today, and I know that you did as well, that the Utah Mammoth have sent out that their season opener, their home opener, October 1st against the Chicago Blackhawks. Yes, the Delta Center, October 1st, 7 o'clock. It will be the Mammoth and the Blackhawks. The second time in 3 seasons that the Mammoth have opened up at home against the Blackhawks. And you know what? It can't get here soon enough. And by the way, the full regular season schedule will be announced tomorrow at 11 a.m. So we'll be on the air, and we'll have the full schedule released. But mark your calendars. First game at home in the Delta Center with that new look, year 2 of the 3-year renovation to the Delta Center. You'll be able to walk in and see that. Is it the south side that they're working on right now on the upper bowl? Anyway,
I don't even know. I drove by it the other day, and I'd know this. They're working on it because there are a million trucks outside.
I don't know how they're going to be able to pull it off, but they will, and it will look awesome. But you know what? This Mammoth season, look, I am fired up for the Jazz season. I'm fired up for the Mammoth season. Obviously, we're all fired up for college football. You have mentioned and coined this the summer of us. This is the summer of us, the sports fans here in the state of Utah, because expectations for BYU, Utah, the Mammoth, and the Utah Jazz collectively are about as high as anything we've seen in recent memory, with all 4 of them expected to have very, very good seasons.
Yeah, and let me tell you why. Let's just imagine, let's all get in the DeLorean. We can fit, I promise.
Yep.
Okay, get in that sucker and set it back 10 years. Okay? I mean, BYU's kind of stuck in independence. Utah has made the move to Pac-12 or is on. But the bottom line is, if you were to read that headline, that the Blackhawks, the famed Chicago Blackhawks.
Iconic logo
there. I mean, I think it's one of the cooler sweaters, honestly.
I agree. Yep.
That red that pops, all of the patchwork on it. But to say that they're coming to Salt Lake to open against a team that we didn't even know would exist.
Yes.
And I promise you, we've got baseball in that same. Right now, we're in that realm where we're only a few years away from knowing we're going to have that. I mean, everywhere I turn, people are talking about baseball in Utah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and you and I talked about it. How because the hardest part of this job is been probably the summer, because it's all not stuff that's necessarily relevant and happening, but more little bits and pieces. And this year we've been aided along with, Sorsby, those $90,000 in bets definitely helped take some of the time. I mean, that was 10 days of our summer. We talked about that. But the reason it's the summer of us is, because we have been, all you got to go back 5-10 years and then fast forward, we've got a bona fide team that's being built to contend in the NBA, in the Western Conference.
Yes.
We have dude, I can't be more impressed with Bill and the guys at the Mammoth. Seriously, the job they do, and I feel like this offseason's been huge.
Yes.
Because they got the taste of it, but now they needed a couple of things, and they've added veterans and toughness. And that's been huge. And most important, they added Yamamoto.
Yeah,
we'll have our sweater on for that day. You and I will wear it.
Yes.
On opening night. It has been a long time. And then we went down to the Big 12 and those storied programs. I told you about going to Kansas State, the Cotton Bowl back in 94, was it?
98.
98.
I think it was
98.
January of 98. Yeah.
Okay. I was living in Austin, went to that, watched Chris Canty, out there popping people, and
Barking
BYU.
at Sark.
Yep. And BYU freaking wins the game. It was KO Lalu. He got KO'd. He got knocked out, was laying in the end zone. But, it was a incredible atmosphere. But now BYU's they've evolved to be way beyond that.
Yeah.
And we're sitting in a room where all those programs are talking about how they're going to try to beat BYU and Utah, who are in the top quadrants. So, for all of those reasons, I saw it, a couple weeks, when the summer began. And maybe it was the excitement that I get to hang with you every day.
Well, I just, I think this is we look at little moments, and I go back to that summer of 2010 when Utah announced they were going to the Pac-12. Such a huge, huge accomplishment to be able to say at that point you are a peer with USC, with UCLA, with Washington, with Oregon, Arizona State. Like, that has some cachet to it. And it's like, okay, Utah is now a member of the big boy club. And whether or not, like, I think there was a little bit of a inferiority complex, like, do we really deserve to be here? But here we are. So
Just
let's
put a bigger sticker on the back.
So let's
They'll
try to
believe
make this work. And before too long, took a few years, but Kyle Whittingham got them rolling, and they're playing in Rose Bowls, which was remarkable. But the thing is, I think the state of Utah has gone from the plucky upstart to the underdog to now, look, the Mammoth are going to make playoff run. The Jazz are now poised to make a playoff run. You've got Utah and BYU, not just as the try-hard kids, but the big dogs of the Big 12. I mean, you've got Texas Tech, BYU, and Utah, maybe in that order, but those are your top three teams in the Big 12 that will be fighting for a chance to go to the college football playoff. There's a good chance 2 out of those 3 teams could be in the college football playoff come in January, and it's not going to be a surprise. It's kind of expected. Like BYU, we can safely say BYU right now has the talent to win the Big 12 and go to the college football playoff. That's not a back in 2004, hey, if the stars align and this team loses and you win and you do this and this and this, Urban Meyer may bust the BCS. And no, it's not. There's no surprise factor here. BYU should. In fact, I think there will be a certain level of disappointment if they don't go to the college football playoff this year. Utah, every opportunity to go to the college football playoff this year. So there is so much excitement, not just because of the expectations, but because of the fact that this entire state deserves all the good things coming its way because they've laid the groundwork. They've been great ownership groups, great athletic directors, great school presidents that have allowed the groundwork to build to the point where Utah is not just lucky to be there. They're a peer and a big dog in pretty much every sport that they're playing in right now.
100%. And the only thing I'd add to that for, our friends up north is the timing of Utah State and the Pac-12, right? Like that is, we went up and celebrated that. But the state's popping sports-wise. And then on the horizon, to have Major League Baseball plug in, then our job basically becomes, we've got something to talk about that's relevant, that's going on in every facet of the year, all the way through. And, the buildup of college football while you're talking about Utah in, Major League Baseball and the goings on of the inaugural season. I mean, it's just exciting to think about. I think part of it is manifesting it. I think that's been a big part of the state. I brought a couple buddies out here from Texas in 1988, and I'm telling you, they thought they were going to a foreign country. They had no idea what that Utah was hardly even spoke about back then.
Yeah.
And now to be at the epicenter of the tech world and all of the things that have happened in the business world, it's just it's an amazing evolution.
Well, even if, and this is. There's still going to be a part of the sports society that looks at Utah like, huh, Utah, really? But the people that are making decisions that understand that it is their job to drive revenue, they don't care about what Joe Schmuckatelli in New Jersey thinks about the state of Utah. They care about teams that have opportunities to generate revenue for their sport. And the Big 12 saw that BYU could help them generate revenue. Then when the Pac-12 broke up, they realized Utah could certainly help them generate revenue. Major League Baseball has zeroed in on Salt Lake City as a high-level prospect for expansion because Utah can help generate them revenue. Because they've got their ducks in a line. They've got the relationships with the local government. They've got the site. They've got the ownership group in place. The funding's there. It's ready to go. It's turnkey, and they can come in right away and help generate revenue. Hockey, looked at it and said, these guys can generate revenue. Now you look at the Jazz as now a top 3 or 4 team in the NBA in sponsorship revenue.
Big time, yes.
I mean, it's a, quote, small market team, but if you look at the corporate sponsors and and the amount of money being generated, the Jazz are top 5 right now. And that's unbelievable considering
the population,
what we thought of the population, because the corporate dollars are here now. They
are here, and that's been that huge piece that was probably the step that needed to be in place for everything else to blow. I remember getting off the exit coming home from Boston after those 2 years, and I was going to my grandmother's house in Alpine, and we got off that exit that's now, that metropolis.
Oh, yeah.
That is just going everywhere, and that outlet mall's right there. To tell you and to put it into context, is kind of how we've evolved. But I got off, and they were just beginning to widen that road.
Mm-hmm.
So there was construction barriers, and I just got out and moved them, and we just drove up the road, and there was nobody else really on the road at 10 o'clock at night. And now if you're to go out there and to get out of your car, you're going to get killed.
Yes.
Because it's like Grand Central Station. So that's how it's felt, though. The sports world, kind of a desolate thing in the beginning. And now, like, as you said, what don't we have that we want?
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, baseball's gonna happen. They watched the Millers operate all those years. About as classy a group of people as you'll ever meet.
No doubt.
So, I mean, like you said, everything's in place. Just add water. Just tell us when the water's coming.
Yep. Let's go. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Tusk Top.
Comes to sports in Utah, we've got you covered. This is Scotty G and the coach, Tim LaComb, presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. All right, I still get confused. Is this a Lloyd day or is this a...
It's a Lloyd day.
It's a Lloyd day?
And I love number 1.
It's like a leg day, but a Lloyd day.
All right, so
Don't skip Lloyd day.
Wednesdays are Lloyd days.
Yes.
I just got to remember. Okay.
I think it got screwed up the first week because Lloyd, I mean, he's never gone, but he was gone that first week.
I was gone.
Scotty rubs his eyes in disgust.
Yeah, no, trust me, I know. I know how much he rubs his eyes.
You've got another one coming up, right, bro?
Absolutely, and
You've got another vacation coming up.
Yes, I do.
Next week?
Not next week, but the following week.
And the week after.
This is the Wyoming trek.
Oh, yes.
To his cabin. Lloyd's got a cabin. You know that?
I didn't.
Yeah. Lloyd,
I mean, I'm not surprised. He's an executive with a parking stall.
Lloyd owns a cabin.
Well, let's be honest. It's a family cabin.
Owned
but it
by
is
Lloyd.
Nope.
The closest thing
but I have
got
a
to
week.
A cabin.
I get our family gets a week there during the summer, and it's spectacular. Only about 30 minutes from Jackson Hole.
Closest thing I have to a cabin is Lincoln Logs.
Yeah.
My grandson and I are going to play with later this afternoon.
I've got a bunch of old branches in my backyard that I could probably stack on top of each other and put my 15-year-old in there.
We scrape enough money together, Scotty, to, we rent one of those campgrounds from time to time.
Yes.
And for us, that's living.
That's living the high life. We're going to check in with Brian Taylor. It's a Open Championship update here in just a moment. Get his thoughts on how this thing's going to get played out. And then a little bit later on in the show, we'll have our actually, today is Wednesday. We'll do a major pain in the butt coming up a little bit later
Tim
on.
picks to win yet again.
Who, Tim, to win another championship in our major pain in the butt? Because it's not a matter of if he'll win, it's just by how much he'll win.
Well, my goal is not to lose one in my entire time here.
That's lofty expectations. Yes, that's not messing around.
When it comes right down to it, if there are 100 people that they pick 10 years from now that were able to do such a thing, I want to be in that 100.
You want to be that guy.
Yep. I was talking to Mitch Feinstein on the way down.
Let's get to it. It is your Open Championship update right here on the Zone.
Open Championship Update is presented by Copper Rock, where the pros play on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Joining us now, the man himself, Brian Taylor, Real Golf Radio. You hear it every Saturday morning as we get ready from the dirt burnt-out course known as Royal Birkdale. BT, how you doing?
Is Coach out there night putting with the dean's daughter? Is that what I just heard?
Yeah. You like that?
Mm-hmm. I caught that one.
I appreciate it so much. We do a little bit. We do some Easter eggs, and we don't really describe them. So thank you. And BT, you are so good at your job. I just got to tell you, even as a guy driving around that wasn't affiliated much, I'd come on from time to time. As I found out now, when they just needed to fill air, I thought I was popular, but now I've learned. But you actually, I would drive around and all right, what does BT got to say about this one? So I'm excited to hear about this. No, you're great at your job, dude.
Hey,
well, thank you.
Bob took me to task a little bit yesterday because I love the. It's not when I watch the Masters. I love the Masters not just necessarily because of the golf competition, but the scenery. Like I'm a golf course nerd. I'm a lawn nerd. I love the lush grass. I love the beautiful greenery, and we're not getting any of that in Birkdale. That thing looks like it's just absolutely been set on fire, and it's a cow pasture to begin with anyway. So again, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's going hard, man. I should have warned you.
I know the golf nerds out there are going to be angry, but I'm having a hard time getting excited about this. BT, can you sell this for me?
Well, it's got to be a tough summer for you here in northern Utah, then, because
yes, it is.
Grass is looking terrible. Water restrictions.
Oh, he's not minding those.
Well,
no,
yeah.
You see, I see. No, look.
Yes, I am,
see what
Tim.
Scotty
What are you
did.
talking about?
Scotty's looking for those loopholes. I can appreciate that. So I saw him out on sod. He's openly looking for new sod. He gets the new sod in there, and now he's got the exception where if you've got new sod, you can water a little more. I see you working there, Scotty D. I see you working.
He would have been a hell of a college recruiter because it is all about loopholes, boys.
That's right. That's right. Well done. Well played, Scott.
Everybody likes I don't know what you're talking about. Everybody lays sod at 105-degree weather in the middle of July. I don't know what you're talking about.
In the middle of July. It's the perfect time.
He just said to me, man, I'm worn out. I've been lifting sod, man. He just looked at me. He's like, I'm tired.
Hey, look, at our age, if you're pulling weeds, you're worn out. Like any yard work will wear you out faster than anything else you could do. I'm with you on that one.
I don't hear about age from you two.
But when you but when you look at this
Sorry,
court,
you want me to sell this on you? Okay.
Try.
I'll sell you on this. So look,
okay.
This is the 11th time it's hosted the Open Championship. Like that, there's that, right?
Yes.
You've had winners like Arnold Palmer, Lee Trevino, Johnny Miller, Jordan Spieth in his last win, Tom Watson. I can't remember if Watson was amongst the winners, but you've got some all-time classics. And what do you have in these guys? You've got ball strikers. This is a golf course where you should see the winners be the best players in the world that are able to just hit some super creative, cool shots. Think back to Liverpool in 2006 when Tiger won his back-to-back. And it was a burnout Royal Liverpool, and he was just hitting these stinger 4-irons, 320 yards. They would just go ripping down the middle. They would hit that burnout runway that you're seeing, and they would just sit and roll and chase out there, and then he'd hit shots. It should be a clinic. There's a lot of different ways the guys are going to play this. You could take driver out and you could try to take on some of the pop bunkers and some of the angles on these dog legs. And if you carry them, great. You're going to set up for a shorter shot. Or you can go ahead and say, hey, look, the golf course is giving me a cart path for a fairway this week. So if I just bust a 5-iron down there and land it at about 220 and let it release out to about 280, I'm short of those bunker complexes. I don't have to take the risk of trying to fly it over the top. And then even if you do fly it over the top, where's it going to go from there? Because again, it's going to hit and roll and run a long ways. So I think you're going to see some really super cool creativity this week. And I think this is actually a terrific golf course. When I'm sure Bob mentioned it, but when we had our BBC correspondent on, he's local in the area, so he has an affinity for it. But he thinks it's one of the best that links golf has to offer. Certainly English links golf, and so I actually think it's for a golf course in links that sometimes requires a little bit of luck. You have to get just the right bounces and things like that. Like Royal St. George's is one of those where it feels like there's too much luck involved, that maybe it doesn't identify the best player that week. But I think courses like this that are a little more pure, and by the way, I love fast links courses. This is, if you're a golf purist, you love fast links courses, because this is where you literally play the ground game. Now, here's where things get a little, and I'm still trying to sell it, but this is where it could get a little unique, is there's not going to be a ton of wind this week. I don't think there's going to be a lot of weather this week. And so if that's the case, even with the tough, firm conditions, you're probably going to see some pretty good scores. So if the wind blows, there could be some carnage. So depending on whether you like seeing the guys go low or whether you like seeing the golf course win a little bit in a major championship, I think you could get a little bit of both here at Royal Birkdale. And I think it's an awesome golf course.
Well, I appreciate that, and that makes a lot of sense too. And when you're just from a player standpoint, how do you have to attack a links course different than maybe a traditional American course?
So a traditional American course, and especially a tour course for these best players in the world, often is a dartboard for these guys. They just tee it high and bust it down there, and it lands in the fairway and it stops. Then they hit usually a wedge in, and they hit it high and it stops. The caddies always told us, as we've had conversations over 30 years, that, the only way to put a defense on a golf course for the best players in the world is firm, fast greens. And you're going to get that this week. But now you add firm, fast fairways and everything's in play. The precision required is so different. Now, there's a couple of things that do sort of equal out a little bit. With these firm conditions come a little bit more of a burnout rough. And with a burnout rough, it's a little easier to hit it out of it, as opposed to a lush, green, thick, US Open style of rough. And so they will have a little easier time escaping if they do miss the fairways. But again, you've got these bunkers, these pop bunkers with their revetted faces. And if you get up against them, you're going to see those awkward, where they're on their knees with one foot in the bunker, trying to pitch it out sideways. And that's always entertaining as well for these guys. But the bunkers around the greens aren't quite as deep as some of the other link style courses you're used to seeing. So again, unless you're stuck up against those faces, I think you're going to see guys escaping. This is the 50th anniversary of Johnny Miller winning his Open Championship at Royal Birkdale in 1976. And I went back and watched that film. Seve Ballesteros was 19 years young, and Jack Nicklaus was right there, finished runner-up with Seve to Johnny. And, you think about ball strikers, and those three right there come right to the top of the list, right? Johnny in his heyday struck it as good as anybody ever has. Jack, of course, maybe the best ever. And Seve, the most creative, one of the most unique, great hands in all of the game. And so to see those three battle it out down the stretch at Royal Birkdale, that golf course offers some pretty cool opportunities. And I just think you're gonna see that. I think you're gonna see something like that. And Brando Chambly on the Golf Channel said he expects, with the precision required, that you're going to see the big names rise to the top. You got to have that skill set in order to be able to really compete here, given the history and given the conditions. It should be a star-studded leaderboard, which I think also turns out to be a popular venue and a popular event for the game.
Well, okay, you got me there, because I've done two of these now, and I'm 2-0. And yesterday, yes, I have first pick because I keep winning, and I actually revealed my pick the day before because I'm so confident in it, and I want to run it by you. It's a gentleman by the name of Joe Dean. No, I'm just kidding. Joe Dean is the last guy to qualify. No, it's not him. It is Matt Fitzpatrick is my pick.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
He was my pick in January. Every year we do our way too early major championship predictions, and then we kind of see how they play out. And typically what happens by the time you get to July, the guys that were hot at the end of the year, have sort of gone, either they're really hot or they've kind of fizzled out or things have changed. And in this case, I'm sticking with Fitzpatrick as my pick as well. So I'm right there with you, Coach.
Oh, wow.
He tied for fourth last year at the Open, which was ironically his first top 10 in 10 tournament appearances at the Open Championship. So that's pretty surprising. But he is an Englishman. He's going to have a ton of support this week. He's a 5-time winner on the PGA Tour. He has 3 this year. And the reason I like Fitzpatrick is oftentimes you'll see Ryder Cups propel or rejuvenate a player's career, their confidence, their momentum. And what I saw out of Fitzy at Bethpage last fall was a guy that was just ready to come back. Like, he was so impressive the way he transformed his game, added distance to win the U.S. Open at the Country Club at Brookline a few years ago. And then he kind of struggled a little bit. You know, this is a guy that putts cross-handed. That's pretty unique, right? When you go left-hand low and you're chipping and stuff. Sorry, I meant chipped cross-handed. And so that's a little unique. But to see the way that he dismantled his opponents at Bethpage in the Ryder Cup, I was like, look out for this guy. He's going to have a year. And I said, I guarantee, not only is this is my January prediction, which looks pretty good. Guarantee he's going to win on tour, but I also guaranteed he'd win a major. And if I had to pick one, it was the Open. So not that you can guarantee everything. And I mean, the only thing that you can guarantee is that it's not going to go the way you think it's going to go typically in golf, other than Scotty Scheffler a couple of years and Tiger Woods for about 8 of those 10 years. So yeah, I like Fitzpatrick a lot. I think he's he played well last week also, so he's coming in here on a bit of a hot streak. I think he's now leading the tour with currently consecutive cuts made at 28, which isn't a lot, but it's hard to be consistent out there on the PGA Tour. So I love Fitzpatrick. In fact, I think you could probably do well betting, if you're not going to bet the number 1 player in the world in Scotty Scheffler to get his first major of the season, I think you do well to bet Englishman with him and Fitzpatrick, and maybe even a sentimental favorite in Justin Rose. So those are, I think Fitzy's a great pick.
So you mentioned the consecutive cuts. Obviously, that came to an end for Scotty last week. And, you know, you could look at that a couple different ways. Is it just kind of a blip in the radar and it was bound to happen, so he got it out of his system and it'll be back to business as usual for him? Or is there any cause for concern? I got to imagine it's probably the first one in your opinion, but do you see any issues at all developing there? Or is it just like, okay, everybody has a bad day at the office every now and then. He had 1 in 4 years. Big deal.
Yeah, I don't get too hung up on the missed cut thing, right? And it's hard not to. It's a what have you done for me lately? And Scotty, actually, of all the players, has probably pointed that out. Like, I think he said when he won the PGA last year, he said, here's the thing, we're going to go tee it up Monday and it starts all over again. You really don't have time to celebrate your wins. And, you know, like when a guy wins a Super Bowl, when a team wins a Super Bowl, they sort of have the whole offseason to sit and enjoy their ring and do a parade and whatever, right? For these guys, they just go and tee it up again the next week and it starts all over. So not that anyone's feeling sorry for him or he was looking for any sympathy about that. Like, right. I mean, when you're hot, you want to keep playing, and Scotty's been able to capitalize on that over the last several years. But I think it's bound to happen. I think it's bound to it's very, very hard. In fact, Bob and the caddy and I had this conversation coming in last year after Scotty won. What did he win? 6 2 years ago? Or 7 2 years ago? I think he won 7 2 years ago. And then going into 25, we said, what's the over under on wins for Scotty? And those guys I put the number at 5 and they both took the over. And I was like, you guys are crazy. You know how hard it is? And we went through the stats on people that back up, you know, wins of 5 or more consecutive years. And it just doesn't happen very often, just because it's so hard to do that against the best players in the world. And yet he came up, I think he won 6, right? I think he went 7-6. I might be off a little bit, but off the top of my head, he exceeded that. And so for him to now come around and he wins his first event of the year at the American Express in Palm Springs, and then he has a rash of second place finishes, runner-up finishes, and then you say, well, what's wrong with Scotty? He hasn't won a major. He's only won once this year. I'm like, are you kidding me? He's won, and he's been runner-up. He's been in contention all these weeks. So maybe he doesn't have the dust that he had the last 2 years. Maybe which, by the way, you need a little bit of dust. You need the ball to kind of bounce your way here and there. You need it to the hole to catch that putt instead of lipping out a couple of times. Like stuff like that you sort of need, but I don't think it, you know, I joked that he's done, his window's closed, he's washed up, but you know, that's all in jest. I think Scotty's he's the betting favorite this week, and he should be the betting favorite this week, and he's still the best player in the world. And when you look at the categories that he leads on tour, in strokes gained and scoring average and, approach shots. I mean, those are all the tools that you're going to need, greens and reg. Those are the birdie average. Like, he leads the tour in all of those, and you need those stats to win in a major championship. So I think he's going to do just fine this week. It's interesting. The last player to win back-to-back claret jugs was Padraig Harrington, and he did it in 2007 at Carnoustie, and then came back here at Royal Birkdale and did it in 2008. So there's history for going back-to-back here, and Scotty could join that list.
Yeah, and it's certainly within the realm of possibility for sure. I know you've been to a number of these courses over in Europe. If you had to pick one, if they said, okay, there's one course that, like Augusta, that will host the British every single year, what would you go with?
I mean, you'd have to go with the Old Course just because of the history of it.
Yeah.
I don't know that it's the best course for today's best players. I don't want to get a honk here, but it's not that hard. Like, the Old Course is not, like, it's not that long and it's not that hard. Thank you. I know. As soon as I said it,
you tore it up, didn't you, BT?
You're in the horn zone, BT. You're in the horn zone. Welcome.
I shot. I know. I like both of those go through my head every time I'm about to say this, by the way. Perfect drops. But I think I shot 74 at the Old Course last year. And made birdies, and we played one tee up. They don't let you play the championship tees typically out there. And so, and we caught it on a day where the wind wasn't blowing. Like, there's so much that goes into whether or not the Old Course is going to be a major test for these guys. And of course, we weren't playing it under major championship conditions. But the point is I just think the Old Course is just special. Like, if you had a Scotland trip and you went over and you said, I'm going to play the Old Course and I'm going to play Carnoustie and I'm going to play Kingsbarns and, I'll just name them, right? You're going to go on and play North Berwick and all these different ones. They're all awesome. But if you said, or you could just play the Old Course for 5 straight days, I'd have a hard time not just staying at the Old Course for 5 straight days, because it's just it's one of those places it reeks with history. It's just such a cool thing. Like, all of it is just so awesome. So I would say the Old Course. One that hasn't hosted, at least it's not in the Rota, is Royal Dornoch up north. It's such a haul to get up there and stuff, but that's a really special one of my bucket list courses I got a chance to play last year. I'm a big fan of Royal Dornoch, so that's another one on that list. But there's so many great ones, so many really, really great golf courses that host. Troon, was it last year or 2 years ago? Portrush, even over in Ireland. Like, there's just such a great rotation. I hope they never would do that. Like, Augusta's pretty special to be able to do that. Like, if you said the U.S. Open was going to be played every year at Pebble Beach, that would obviously be special. But I love that we move it around. There's so many great golf courses. That's the beauty of golf, is the venues are there. Major League Baseball, I love when I go to a city, I want to go to a Major League ballpark because I think it's so cool. But I wouldn't want that just to be one, right? I think it's cool to go experience the different ones. So, I love that Augusta has that, but I don't think anyone should try to follow that model because there's just too many cool other venues to compete.
BT, you're the best, man. We appreciate it. Always good catching up with you, and let's do it again here soon.
Yeah, I think first tee time, I think, is like just right before midnight Mountain Time tonight.
Yes,
so
I love
stay
this.
up late, watch that, and then get up early and do a little breakfast with the Open. It's a fun one.
I like
Enjoy.
it. Nice.
Thanks,
there he
boys.
is. Brian Taylor, Real Golf Radio. Again, updates brought to you in part by Mountain America Credit Union, Mountain Land Supply, Black Desert Resort, Hoops Vision, and Uinta Golf right here on the Zone. You hear them every Saturday morning breaking down golf better than anybody else. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.